Turbo. Hey guys, my name is Chris, and today we'll learn about how to add particle effects to your Turbo project. Using particle effects gives you an edge on speed and quality when making games fast, so let's jump into it. In order to follow along in this video, make sure you have Turbo already installed and on its latest release at the time of this video, that is 0.7.1. We have videos to help you out should you require it. Alright, let's start off with an easy step one, adding our particle manager to game state and then initializing it. Normally I would have this already done. Since it's a little bit different of a scenario, it's not like setting it to like bool or setting it to like I32 or anything like that. I thought I would do it this time in real time, and there's nothing special about it. It's just setting it to particle manager, and then for the initialization we're going to do particle manager and we're going to use the new function. Now step two is going to be adding in our particle manager through the Particles.rs. So let's add in our Particles.rs. I do have a video on how to use multiple files, so if you're unsure, if I'm moving too fast, I would recommend checking out that video. But we're just going to add in Particles.rs, and then that takes us over to here, and then I already have the copy and paste ready. I'm going to slap it on in here, and this right here is our particle playground brought to us by Alex. So that's going to be a very big reason why it's going to be so easy to add in these particles to Turbo. Now that we've added in our Particles.rs and our particle playground, we now have to, whenever we're using multiple files, we have to use mod and new at the top of our original document here to be able to really take advantage of those files, any additional files that you have in your project. So I'm going to save this, and I'm going to save this as well. And then our step three is going to be updating our go loop so we can see what's going on. Specifically, we're going to add in position so we can call our burst. We're going to add update, and we're going to draw. We're going to add update and draw so we can see our particles when we run our project. So let me grab that, copy paste, and then I'm going to go right over this, and it's giving me an error because my copy paste is a little wrong. So I got to use state particle manager there because it's in the game state. Then if I save that, I should be able to run the project, and we should be able to see our dust. Cool, and there we are right there, and I'm just going to reload it so you can kind of see, like in the very beginning, how the dust gets like created and all of that. We'll recap this, but at the end of the recap, I'll show you how to alter these particle effects right here, and you can get them looking however you would want them to look. So we'll go through it nice and simple here. Step one was adding in our particle manager and initializing it. So we added in particle manager, it's using the particle manager, and it's initialized through particle manager new. Step two was to add in our Particles.rs, which was a new file here. So we're adding in the entire Particles.rs. So through this, we've added in everything related to Particle Playground that Alex made, and it ends at this draw function right here. But on top of that, I took three different burst configs and added them in. So we have trail, dust, and I think, yeah, explosion. So we have these three. Right now we're only using dust, that's what you saw, but I've added those in as well. Step three was updating our go loop. So in order to call on create burst, I need the name of a burst config and a position. So I set the position to 2050 X and Y, and then I just assigned it to something called position, whatever, and I put it there, and I made sure to name the burst config right here. So like, for example, if I wanted to use trail, I could just type trail, and then if we go over to our running project, you'll see this dust turn into the trail particle effect, just like that. So now that we've kind of gone over the recap, let's alter and change these effects. So tweaking effects is really simple, and you have a lot of settings to tweak. Let's go over here into Particles.rs, and we'll use trail because that's what we're doing right now. So in this Particles.rs, we have these burst configs, and the burst configs have a burst source. So this is kind of how the particles come out. You can set this to circle, point, or rectangle. We can also change the velocity for the x and the y. We can change the lifetime, how long we want these particles to last on screen before they fade out or don't fade out. You can change that too. What's the shape of the particles? We can change that. They can be square or a circle. We can even change the count of how many particles get created. And then you can have varying sizes and you can set a color. So this is all really cool because you can set minimums and maximums. So there's some degree of randomness between the particles that you make. And you can also do negative values going like left or right, up or down. The final say in how a particle looks will be really up to you and how you want to tweak it to get that particle effect to look. So now that you understand how to use particles and call them, I want to show you what I've done in a game I made for the Atari Game Jam with Devin, who is another worker at Turbo. And it's on itch.io if anyone wants to play it or take a look at it. But I use a lot of particle effects for the various missile, beams, weather, and it's called Flight of the Ganderly. So I'm going to pull that up here. It took us about a week to make, and without going too heavy into it, join game jams, guys. They're so good for your development as a game dev. That's what I have for you today, nerds. I hope this helped, and if it did, drop a like and join our Discord. Let me know in the comments how your projects are coming along, and let me know what videos you'd like to see in the future. Make sure to check out our updated docs at docs.turbo.computer and start making games fast. The merch store is also live with a 20% discount, so don't sleep on that. Visit it at store.turbo.computer. Links in the description.